Okay, but somehow or other, probably supernaturally, God imposed those letters onto the stone.
Yes, engraved them through and through.
What was, did, you know, your explanation there leads me to another question I just got. It begs asking.
Okay.
What image were we created in then? If
the spiritual human being known as Adam Kadmon, original humanity or man. And this is going into the Kabbalah, which I give a class on once a month, deals
at Temple David?
At Temple David and in Pinellas County, and also we will be expanding it to Sarasota, deals with the concept of that as we look at a human being, there is the brain, the seat of the intellect, the head, known as the Rosh. Then there are the limbs. Then there are the internal middle organs and the external organs, which are the feet. And all of these have a spiritual counterpart to them. The human being is a mirror of the spiritual human being, the human physical body. And therefore, when it says in the image of God, it's not that God, it means the spiritual attributes that God manifests himself in the world to and through. For instance, there is the aspect of the wisdom and the intellect of a person. Then there is the aspect of the emotions of a person. So to say, one can say that there are, in order for the world to be a finite world, God had to conceal himself. The energies of God had to be concealed. They were known as the concealments, in order for the finite world to be able to have a place for it to exist and be. Otherwise, it would disappear instantaneously. It couldn't handle the great light. So in order for a finite world, a corporal world that has top and bottom and volume, to be able to have existence, God's energy was concealed. And these concealments then brought about, so to say, a space for the finite world to be able to exist in. But God is everywhere, and God fills every aspect and void, and without beginning and without end.
That would kind of explain the fact that there's two versions of creation of Adam. There's Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. One would be the spiritual creation then, right?
In the creation, when you read the biblical story of the creation very carefully, and I would recommend the stone 5 books of Moses, or the Art Scroll as it's known, for having a great deal of additional explanatory notes with the original side by side and the English, you will find that there was a creation of light, and then there was later on the creation of the sun and the moon and the luminaries. And you ask, what is this light? There are 2 lights, seemingly, so to say, created. That is a light that was created, that is an infinite light that has great power. It was then concealed and can only be used by great righteous individuals, and that was after the sin in the Garden of Eden. So the creation story, as you read the literal, especially in the English, conceals many aspects of what additionally occurred in the creation. And you need to actually study carefully each word in the original Hebrew, how God actually created all of the myriad of things that he did. When he did that, not God is he, but he created the ability for many, which was in itself a creation of the finite. Because God is everywhere and God is infinite. God is without beginning and without end. God is not affected by time. For time itself is a created finite entity, past, present, and future. Whereas God is infinite, without beginning and without end.
It's a third-dimensional creation.
Yes, those are interesting words. It's another concept of existence.
Rabbi, what are the Ten Commandments? I don't want you to necessarily recite the whole Ten Commandments, so let me go by...
Well, everyone can open their Bible and take a look.
Really?
Or
but I want to talk about the
go
commandment.
to the local courthouse and maybe see it there.
You know,
There's a lot
incidentally, you know, I think that in the local courthouse and in the schools and in all the places, I think that they should have laws from every religion on the walls.
Well, there is a concept called separation of church and state, which has its purpose and reason for being. We do live in a society where we really have the availability to study and learn about every aspect of every religion. I would but say that in order not to confuse the students and not necessarily putting every basic dogma into the walls of the school engraved, etc. But I would, you see, the Ten Commandments are the basic underpinnings of all the world's legal systems, I believe. So I wouldn't say necessarily it has to be in the school. It can be a part of the study of the religions of the world, etc.